This is going to be almost a little bit like speed dating insofar as we're going on the clock, 4 minutes, up and down, 4 minutes until we go through the panel that we have before us. And you'll have your app, your smartphone in your app, and you'll be able to poll, and Ali will give the details of that at the conclusion, or I'll give the details of that at the conclusion of the Q&A. So if you, Ali, remind me the Hello Crowd app. So this is going to be very interactive. You're going to be able to vote, and there is going to be a winner. Okay. With that, our first entrepreneur that's going to be up, forgive me while I find my sheet here. We've got Rain from Johnton, and we're going to literally start as soon as you speak live into this mic.
Live. There you go. On-demand hotel rooms, on-demand rides, on-demand assembly help, even on-demand love. See, we live in an on-demand world where we can get what we need when we need it in real time, also called microconsumption. But with all this advancement in technology, why is it still so hard to get short-term coverage? The other day, I went to go get coverage for my drone, and this is what was sent to me. And this, and this, and they wanted me to sign up for a year, and I only wanted it for 60 minutes. Even industry executives agree that innovation is lacking in the industry and a change is needed, and that on-demand insurance, on-demand microinsurance, is going to be a big trend in the industry in the next 10 years. Wouldn't it be nice if you could get insurance as quickly and easily as you can in Uber or a hotel room? Well, now you can. Hi, everyone. My name's Rain. I'm one of the co-founders at Johnton, and we're creating on-demand insurance for an on-demand world. So how does it work? Well, we partner with great insurance companies to turn this into this. 77% of insurance companies right now don't even have a mobile app. So we're going to get you there so people can start signing up for insurance on their phone. And then we layer in our on-demand technology where you can simply flick a switch and you're covered. So what you're seeing here is our live app. Mark stole my thunder earlier, but this is our live AIG app made in partnership with AIG where you can get travel insurance on the go. So when you're at the airport, you simply flick the switch and you're done. You're covered for medical and all the other good stuff. When you get home, you turn it off and you're done. So it can be for an hour to cross the border to go have lunch in Buffalo or a regular 1, 2, 3 week trip, totally flexible. You only pay for what you use. On top of that, we have every major border crossing airport geofenced to remind you to turn your insurance on or off depending on whether you're going or coming. Of course, there's other benefits for the insurance companies as well. There's better engagement. Right now, when you're engaging with your customers, you engage with them at the point of time or time of sale, and maybe when they make a claim, and if you're lucky, if they renew. But now you're getting constant engagement, which we believe will lead to increased loyalty, and also will help you eventually reduce fraud costs in the sense that we're sending you data back from the phone that will help you, in conjunction with AI and machine learning, start to identify certain trends that may be fraud. The opportunity is massive. Over 95 million sharing economy micro-consumers in North America alone in areas such as travel, drones, TaskRabbit or freelancers, farming equipment, Airbnb, and we've just opened up a U.S. subsidiary to service some U.S. partners in the health space. They don't have universal health care, so it's a massive opportunity there, such as accident insurance, hospital indemnity. So there's a lot of opportunities in North America, especially in the U.S. Unfortunately, I only have 4 minutes, so I can't run through all the numbers, but it's a massive net new market opportunity for our insurance partners and, of course, us as Johnton. And again, I emphasize net new because we're not here to cannibalize current annual plans. We're here to open up new markets and opportunities for you in these new and emerging areas. We are raising a seed round for May of 2018, and I do apologize for being a little vague here. My competitors are on the room, so I stripped out a couple numbers, but essentially we're raising a seed round to fulfill partnerships in the US, and essentially what keeps me up at night is how I'm going to keep up with the demand for our platform in Canada, US, and around the world. This is our dedicated team that's keeping us compliant every day, both regulations and on the security side of our platform. So on-demand insurance. Our vision at Johnton is to allow you, your policyholders, to have flexibility and optimize the way they use insurance while allowing you, the insurance company, to sell and distribute insurance on an on-demand level. And if you're still not convinced that this is the way of the future for insurance, then the next time you go to get insurance and you get something like this, please think of us and how much time, money, and effort you could have saved by simply going on demand. Thank you. No Q&A.
Yep, later. All right, espresso claims, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jazz Kara. This is my colleague Naba Siddiqui, and we're here today to talk about espresso claims. Basically, we're developing a blockchain-as-a-service solution to process health benefits and claim remittances. So let's get this game started. Quick legal disclaimer. Okay, we're done. So, the problem, based upon our informational interviews we've had with insurers, working with our consumers as well, and our allied healthcare professionals, we'll look at the complexity of processing health benefits and claim remittances. Now, it depends on the claim itself. What we realized was 4 key pain points. 1, streamlining the process. Currently, it's 6. Depending on the insurance firm, we're cutting it down to 3. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Nextly is transparency. How do we increase transparency beyond the whole chain itself? Now we're looking at fraud detection, as we are developing artificial intelligence later on in phase 2 of our project. And lastly, improving data quality as a reduction in human error input when processing the claim itself, which happens in the first 2 steps. So this is the current process in a nutshell. Now, it varies per claim, all right? So this is what happens. I go in, I'm the consumer, I got my, my back adjusted by a chiropractor, which is my favorite thing to do. So once that's done, I go online and I process it. This is the whole train, so to speak, in a nutshell. First, you get a claim notification, then you go start to investigate it. After investigating, there's a policy verification. Does Jazz have X, Y, and Z under his benefits being covered? Then sometimes the manual verification, depending how comprehensive it is, the funds get transferred and the payments received. But the issue happens along the claim notification and claim investigation where you go back and forth, and we're working towards that. So the current model is a 6-step process, that's right now. But we're looking to develop a 3-step process where it's the user, our platform, Robusta, which stands for very strong and bold, and lastly, working with the insurance firms. What we're focusing on here now is that it's essentially instant, secure payments being processed using our platform, Robusta. Now, with that being said, now we'll hit on some key points. Fraud reduction, as we develop that data set, bring out those pain points, develop the roadmap. Secondly, focusing on the immutability, so that audit trail from X, Y, and Z, you're covered from the back end. And lastly, that data trail itself, you're able to offer data, develop new products and services depending on the clientele, whether it be in the chiropractic team, dental, et cetera, you name it, we're here to help you and support you. So our team right now, well, you have myself, Jazz, Naba Siddiqui. You have another co-founder, Amin Samra, who's helping out with strategy and operations, and Dr. Johnny Nobles, who's actually a dentist that doesn't want to practice dentistry anymore, and he's out in the U.S. So we open up that channel now to engage the dental associations and also some of these small insurers as we expand to Dallas, Texas. So with that being said, espresso claims. Take a shot at espresso. Our goal here today is to map out, work with certain individuals, partnerships. Phase 2 of the project being released out in March, and we look forward to winning the Consumer's Choice Award today. Thank you.
Thank you, Espresso Claims. And now for Joseph D'Souza, ProNavigator.
Good afternoon, Joseph D'Souza. In March last year, I was having a little conversation with a very successful businessman. And he said something to me that's had me thinking ever since. He said something that's changed about what I think is important in business. And if I could only find the clicker. All right. Thank you. It's that speed and convenience are king. The companies that can save you time are going to win. This is why Amazon's a market leader. They have saved their customers enormous amounts of time. They have simplified the process of buying. We're living in a world where Uber promises a car is going to arrive in 3 minutes, and it does. And I think consumers are saying, how come I can't get this kind of predictably great experience when it comes to my insurance? And the other huge fact is that we're living in this messaging economy with over 60 billion messages sent every day through WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. Now, I don't know if you find this true, but I have friends who always prefer that I chat or text them over a phone call. Now, maybe I need new friends, I don't know. But consumers more and more are looking for ways to message and communicate with their brands in this way, and shopping online more, with over 74% of consumers shopping online and rising. So the challenge is human support is expensive and difficult to scale. Industry averages are $4 per live chat conversation and up to $20 for a phone call. So how do we scale customer support? How do you scale messaging? Now, there's been 4 major historical work eras defined by the way we work: the hunter-gatherer age, the agricultural age, the industrial age, and now the information age. But today I'd argue we're on the cusp of our next great era. Welcome to the augmented age. In this new era, our natural human capabilities will be augmented by computer systems. In fact, I would say that we're already living drastically augmented lives. Imagine you're at this conference and you don't know the answer to this question. If you have one of these, you can know the answer. And I believe this is the purpose of AI, to empower humans with machine intelligence. And as machines get smarter, we get smarter. You know, in the past decade, we've had huge advancements in speech recognition, natural language processing, image processing. And this is where chatbots come in. It's AI-powered software that understands the intent, that understands meaning of a sentence. And then once we understand the meaning, we can map that to a response and help them out. It's 24/7 on demand, never sleeps, always on. It's frictionless. A user can come on your website, pop it open, and start chatting. So this was a case study done by Dr. James Olroyd, and he showed the importance of responding to new leads right away. And he showed that even within just 5 minutes or 30 minutes later, there's a 10 times decrease in your odds of qualifying and contacting a lead. And to me, this makes a lot of sense, because if I'm trying to decide between competing products, and one company is able to answer my question right away, and the other makes me fill out a form or wait for an hour and 35 minutes on hold. This was an actual wait time that I had with my former insurance carrier, an hour and 35 minutes on hold. That first company is going to have an edge and likely get my business. So today, using our chatbots, our virtual customer assistants, you can help consumers get assistance for their questions, service requests, generating quotes in real time. And you know, when we launched, I noticed that at the end of the conversation, people knew that they were chatting with a chatbot or an automated assistant, and they were saying thank you at the end of the conversation. And that was so fascinating to me, because when's the last time we said thank you to an app on our phone, or thank you Microsoft Word for saving a document for us? But I think the fact that language and communication are so ingrained in who we are as human beings, that by humanizing technology, we have this golden opportunity to reimagine how we connect with machines. And that, to me, is a future that's well worth looking forward to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ProNavigator. And now Finaeo, please.
Hi, I'm Ali Dhalla, CEO and co-founder at Finaeo. Over the last 2 years, we've been working with thousands of advisors around the world to figure out how we can seamlessly transition them into the next generation of advice. But before we get there, let's take a look back at where we've come from. I'll use 2008, 2009 as an example, because that's when I became a financial advisor. Before 2008, 2009, trust was implicitly implied. Advisors held all the access to information and to those complex products, and customers were okay with that status quo in service. Let's fast forward to today and look ahead into tomorrow. That same future is not going to be accepted. Consumers finally have access from direct-to-consumer products. We have disruptors who are sitting in this room today looking to change the way the world is built. However, very few of those companies are actually looking at empowering the advisor rather than replacing them. And the last, and this point has been touched on many times today already, which is real-time access. Consumers not only need it, they expect it. They're getting it in every other part of their life. Why not in ours? And those advisors or those customers are asking questions. And my slide doesn't seem to have them posted, so I'll just tell you what those questions are. They're saying, why don't I get the value that I thought I was receiving in the past? Should I look elsewhere for that same service? Should I be using things like Robo? And there it is. Tomorrow, and see, this used to be a keynote slide, and I had to put it to PowerPoints, and now everything's all messed up. Today and tomorrow, customers are going to expect a different level of service. For example, filling out forms, as was talked about earlier, will just not play anymore. That won't be accepted. Consumers now have that direct access to these complex products that they never have before. They can make the choices that they need. And last point, the most important one, is real-time personalized. Companies like Amazon have more information about our customers than we do, and they're going to leverage that information to provide personalized products. Advisors that we've been speaking to are feeling the pinch and feeling the pain. Worst of all, they feel like nobody's there to protect them with a sword and a shield. The technology that's available today, and some of the questions that have been addressed here at this conference, is about standardization of digital processes and digital API infrastructures. Those currently don't exist, and those problems are the ones that this disruptor room are all facing. None of our technology can do what it's supposed to do unless we can access the data that our customers and our advisors need to help them succeed. The second point being the disruptors focus on disintermediation rather than empowerment, and to me that's a huge issue. The last is that there hasn't really been a connective platform that looks at the entire value chain and connects the ecosystem. So Finaeo is proud to announce that we are creating the future of advice through what we call the Bionic Advisor. The Bionic Advisor is the hybrid between a traditional human advisor and a great machine. The machine does what it's supposed to do. It manages compliance, it handles data, and it handles security. The human does exactly what they're supposed to do. Manage the relationship, hold the customer's hand, and be the best value-added professional that you can possibly be. But along the way, we also need to reimagine how distribution works. Distribution cannot be paper-based. Distribution cannot have a clunky intermediary in the middle. It has to be a streamlined process that connects the broker right to the carrier. So the Bionic Advisor is outfitted with the best technology to help them through their day. All of the manual paperwork should be removed, enter the data into the system once, and it should find its right place. The time that advisors save can now be put back into their relationships, back to their customers, but more importantly, back into their families. The data that used to be sitting in a filing cabinet is now sitting in a centralized system that can actually be layered on top with natural language processing, with machine learning to drive insights that have never been seen before. This is a massive opportunity that should drive hundreds and thousands, if not millions and billions, of value creation that has been sitting in filing cabinets for the last decade or two. And lastly, the advisors in this world who take on a digital-first mentality will be much more profitable than the counterparts that don't. Simply put, the velocity that they can drive transactions through should drive more revenue into their pockets. The advisors that we've been working with have helped us co-create this solution. Again, we've worked with over 1,000 advisors over the last 2 years, and they're clearly bought into our vision and mission. So what do? Finaeo provides advisors with technology to help streamline their front office, and we help connect the dots between an insurer and an advisor. The powerful platform that we have has a proprietary system that moves from prospect to policy in one workflow. We help you through all the different stages of your sales cycle and ensure that your information gets to the right place securely, promptly, and on time. We're powering the next generation of advice, and our vision and mission is to help every broker, every customer, and every insurer around the world to see this future through. So today I'm happy to announce that the next version of our software that we're going to be releasing early April is going to be free. That's right, 100% free and 100% free for life. Every digital tool that we build from now on is going to be accessible for any insurance company and any advisor to democratize access to it. I think that us in this room who build great technology, we're footing the bill for that. That's our business. Your business should be driving great advice. So if you're interested in taking a look at it, go check out info.finaeo.com, and we hope to have you on board. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Finaeo. And now we have Health Block Identity.
I'm Charles, and this is my co-founder, Deep, and we're here to present you Health Block Identity. So I'm going to start by telling you a quick story. Around 3 years ago, I found myself traveling along the coast of Spain and Portugal with my family. We decided to explore the ocean side by renting some Vespas. A great idea, until my mom crashed into the sidewalk and broke her femur. She was rushed to the hospital, where she was scared and confused. No one spoke English. Hours later, my dad arrived, and he had no ability to contact anyone back home until he decided to contact one of our friends who happened to have the email of our doctor. He sent out a quick email where my doctor presented the medical history of my mom and all the medications. So luckily in this situation, my mom was able to get her prednisone as she has Crohn's disease, and she was allowed to have surgery. However, in many situations, lucky access and convenience of having a friend to have your doctor's email is not the case. So at Health Block Identity, our mission is to give quick access to medical history anywhere around the world. So at Health Block Identity, our mission is as a patient, no matter where you go in the world, you can provide access to your medical records anywhere and anytime. For those of you who are still kind of iffy on blockchain, we like to say at HealthBlock Identity that it's a technology that's revolutionizing the way we store and share data. We're using Hyperledger blockchain in order to create a digital patient identity system that's universal access. Now, Deep here is excited to tell you about how we're using this technology and how HealthBlock Identity will work in real life.
Sure. Thanks, Charles. Let's imagine a world with our blockchain implementation in place. So when Charles' mother, Lorna, hurt her leg and she was rushed to the hospital, instead of battling and trying to speak Spanish on the spot about her problem, what she could have done is instead given voice consent. Thanks, Charles. This might take a second. So yeah, the first step in the process is that she would give voice consent to our software. The software would extract her voice signature and compare it to the database. Thanks. Yeah, it would compare it against our database, and it would say, okay, we're going to unlock access to her healthcare records to the provider that provided the voice signature. Now her current providers in Spain, without even needing to know who she is, has access to all of her healthcare records, who she is, who's treated her before, and again, important things such as her allergies, and again, the prescription drug that she needed. So basically, let's walk back and look at the difference. When she hurt herself initially, she was struggling. There's no way that she could have communicated that she needed a specific kind of medicine before being operated on. Now, things could have gone bad. She could have been unlucky and, her husband wasn't there. And they would have operated and they might have actually used a prescription drug that she wasn't supposed to be using. Instead, now within seconds, you have access to all of this knowledge that's crucial anywhere in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, HealthBlock. And the last, we have Shifty Technology.
Hello, everybody. So don't worry when looking at me. We also have 3 co-founders that are below the 30s and that wear blue jeans. I'm kind of an exception within Shift Technology. I joined them after 17 years of IBM in a kind of midlife crisis, but that's not the point of today. So at Shift Technology, we are dedicated on insurance fraud detection, leveraging artificial intelligence. The company was created 3 years ago, and we are at level B fundraising stage, so a bit more advanced. We have 100 people now in the company, and we are developing a tool that is designed to help fraud handlers, to help claim handlers to decide if a claim is potentially suspicious, but also to perform the investigation. So quickly about the company, we address all the lines of businesses, only on insurance, but all the lines of businesses, being also personal lines or commercial lines. We have 50 customers across the globe. Always a positive return on investment below the 12 months. Average is approximately 5 months for the return on investment with our solution. So, what's the problem that we address at Shift? We've been discussing a lot on data during those 2 days. So we all know that insurance company has access to a significant amount of data, internal data, policies, history on claims, and they also have access to many external data. And really, the difficulty is to make this data valuable and to get value out of this data. And fourth, so this is the name of our solution, allow insurance companies to create value out of this data and to detect fraud by crossing all those data and leveraging artificial intelligence. And what is very specific with our solution in term of AI is that we are not only detecting fraud. So our solution was not designed to raise a red flag saying, yes, this is potentially a fraud or not, because we believe this is not actionable for the insurance companies. So the way we are leveraging AI is that we managed AI technology to reproduce the deductive reasoning of fraud handlers. So what we are going to say is not, is this a fraud or not, but we are going to predict the fraud scenario. So when we raise an alert, we are going to say, we believe the fraudster has been operating that way. For example, he's been burning his car to get the insurance money, and here are the data within the insurance data. So here are the variables that we found in the data that allow us to demonstrate that he's been operating that way. So it completely changes the game, because it allows the fraud handler, the SIU team, to directly investigate and to leverage this data to validate the scenario. So it really accelerates the way you can recover the money, and it speeds up the way you can lead you can manage the investigation and get the money back. So just quickly around the tool that we provide. So we provide a tool that is designed to be used by the claim handlers and the fraud handlers. This tool is sending every day, it can be in real time, is sending alerts on all the claims that are potentially suspicious, always providing the reason why we believe they are suspicious. And this is really what makes us different, what makes us different. And also we are providing alerts on fraud networks, which is also something that is quite complex and that we've been able to modelize into our AI engine. And the most to finish, the most important element for us is the hit rate. So this is the number of alerts that are validated by our customer team as fraudulent, divided by the total number of alerts that we send. And on average, we have a 75% hit rate, which is far above all what we've seen on the market. So it means that nearly 75%. It means that 75% of the alerts that we send are actually fraud. And what we see with customers that have been working with us for a long time, and with our time scale, a long time is 2 years, we can reach hit rate of 90%, thanks to those AI technologies that allow us to give a very accurate prediction on fraud. So that's about all. Thank you very much for listening.
Insurance Canada is pleased to announce that the winner is Rain from Johnton, and special hand. Just a wave. Next year there's a big prize, big prize. Got to come back next year.